Hey, it's Lowry Smith of the CommanderSmiths here with a Cardkingdom package opening. I did a huge kind of order, about $450 in credit. Used up every last penny I had in there. Ordered about 300 different cards. Not different, but 300 cards total. Some fun ones for sure. You can see Jace, uh, FTV right there. Bunch of surge foils that seem to be pretty cheap and something that I had or wanted in decks from Lord of the Rings, or there's some Doctor Who stuff in there as well. Should be pretty fun to show off what's going on. I don't know how long this is going to take, but hopefully enjoy. Uh, Commander Smiths is a weekly podcast. We generally are live every Monday, and audio's out on every platform on Wednesdays. We have a new one coming out this Wednesday, in fact, in between Christmas, but it's pre-recorded. We're pretty drunk, so we hope you enjoy it. And it was a good time. Oh no, I like keeping that. All right, that's fine. We also do shorts. I should have put one out today. I did not. I was cleaning the house. Kids had cracked a lot of their own present boxes and stuff like that. And then we have what else we got? We're on TikTok. Right. Oh no, YouTube might. Whatever. That's fine. It's fine. It's at the bottom. That's the bottom. We'll keep that for the end. So yeah, we got some fun stuff to do here. Let's see here. There's Surge Foil Ravener. It was real cheap. I have mine in my Magus Lucia Kane deck. So figured some of this is just cards that I wanted. Some of it was based off of just putting it in decks. So I'll kind of talk about where I'm putting them or if there was even a reason. Remember to share, like, subscribe with this. Hopefully, again, find some new cards. Generally, there is. So going in Magus Lucia Kane, Surge Foil looks dope. I got Nexos, which is also Magus Lucia Kane, Surge Foil there. You got Inspiring Call, also Surge Foil. Now, at least this isn't a unique card, but I felt like since it's kind of like a Warhammer deck, probably should, maybe probably shouldn't, but whatever. So I got two of those. Temple of Triumph, I got, I think, all the temples in Surge Foil. It's kind of the coolest version that you're going to get. They were all under $1, so it was like 75 cents on Cardkingdom. Felt like I think I got like 3 a piece. So 1, 2, 3. That was the goal at least. So red, white one, Temple of Plenty, green, white one, Temple of Mystery, green, blue. And then this stuff was kind of going fast, so I don't know what is left over by any means. But it was a good price. Temple of Malice, 3 of those. Red, black, red, blue. I kind of wish that they left it more vague, like this with the Daleks there. Like, I get why it's there for Doctor Who, but it's almost like a little too on the head. But whatever. I'll deal with it. I'll be happy with it. Search Foil, Temple of Epiphany, 2, 3 of those. Temple of Enlightenment, blue, white, Surge Foil, 1, 2, 3. Then you got Temple of Deceit, black, blue. So I like playing with the temples. You don't have to if you don't want to. Not for you. That's fine. If I use them a lot. So, Temple of Abandon, Surge Foil, red, blue, or red, green one. Clythos, God of Destiny. I have this in my new Indoraptor deck. Wanted a foil version. I had the alt art. I think I prefer just foils over an alt art or a full art, so was going for that. This one was just new to me. I thought it was cool. Also, I think it was under $1. But when at ETBs, get a map token. If a creature you control would explore, instead of explores, then it explores again. So double exploring. I like explore as a mechanic. I don't know how much they're going to do it in the future, so kind of got what you got, but I dig it. Redemption Choir, just kind of like a different rebrand of Sun Titan. This one isn't going anywhere. Just wanted a copy. Progenitor's Icon. This is what gives a creature type flash. So wanted at least one of those if I didn't pick up another one already at this point. I go to a local card shop, and I kind of go through their wares as well. And I was doing all that at the same time. But Order of the Sacred Dusk, I like the Convoke a lot more these days. But Flying Lifelink, Haste, Exalted, other vampires you control have Exalted. I wish this card was a legend. This card's crazy. Very cool. March of the Canonized, another one of those new ones. Getting a bunch of little 1/1 vampires and does something else. Lethal Scheme. Again, like I said, I really like Convoke a lot more than I used to. So the 4 mana isn't as rough, and the conniving is kind of fun too. Francisco, Foul Marauder, Pirate, Bird, Exploring, fun stuff. Dusk Legion Sergeant. So these are all just kind of new ones, and they were cheap. So I figured I should kind of get them. But sack it, and then each non-token vampire creature you control gains persist, which means comes back with a -1/-1 counter on it if it didn't already have a -1/-1 counter on it. Not a bad deal. Dinosaur Egg has evolve, and then whenever it dies, you may discover X, where X is its toughness. Not a bad deal for something cheap and just kind of block and stuff like that. Treasure Map, they're real cheap. I like the card. I probably don't use it as much as I thought I would, but I do. You know, it's in a deck or two. So I picked up 2 foils, it looks like. So it's gonna go with that. Deep Root Pilgrimage. If you play vampires, you like this card. Whenever a non-token merfolk you control becomes tapped, create a 1/1 blue merfolk creature token with hexproof. Mines of Moria, I really like these Lord of the Rings lands. So I picked this one up. Deep Root Pilgrimage. I have a Takasia Merfolk deck, so it's going to be amazing in there. Mines of Moria, I've been putting in red decks, so it's in Rowan, it's in the Balrog, it's in Indoraptor. It's just a nice place to be able to create some treasures if you're kind of running out of stuff to do. Just gain some more stuff. Feldon, Aronam, Excavator, pretty cool for the damage-based Indoraptor that I'm building. I don't know. I've changed the deck a lot since I ordered this a week and a bit ago. So we will not even sure I'm gonna use it, but he does seem really cool, so I like that. Sorin, Imperious Bloodlord, just a card that I've wanted for a while, was in a Secret Lair foil. Looks really, really cool. Great in vampire decks. I had yeah, cool. Devouring Light. Got a foil version of it. Convoke. I have a Saint Trafton Rem deck, so it's gonna go in there. Luca, Bond of Ruin. I think this is a really cool card. The problem is I do have a non-foil one, but it's Phyrexian. I can't read it, and there's so much text there that I decided that I should just get a normal version of it. uh, Bounce Land foil. Just need a couple of those. So this one's going in probably Zimone and Dina. Zimone and Dina getting a foil version for my deck that I have of her. Uh, Interdisciplinary Mascot Convoke deck. Foil version of it. Cut short. Convoke removal. Foil version of it. Oath of Liliana foil version. That's going to be going into my Savior Saul deck, which is Super Friends style. So should be really cool in there. Samite Herbalist, a nice card to tap in the Convoke deck. Chandra Spitfire, a nice foil to have in Indoraptor because there's damage going all around, and you know you hit one player +3/+0. You hit all 3 players, it's +9/+0. Flying is a nice little deal there. Zaladuk Void Gorger. It was just able to get it. I like having some of the more big Eldrazi. I don't have a plan for it at this point, but it was like $15 and actually in stock, so I decided to go for it. Wayward Swordtooth going into Indoraptor. Wanted a foil version of it. I use it enough, so I wanted at least one a little more spendy than I wanted, but that's okay sometimes too. And Jason Mind Sculptor foil. One of my favorite cards. I think it's in Xavier Saul, so this will probably go in Xavier Saul. I also have plenty of proxies of this one, but it looks fucking sweet. Man, that's a crazy foiling there. I like that. All right, we have 5 more to go through. So I am excited. This is a haul right here. Let's see. Hopefully everybody had a good Christmas time or holiday, whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing. We saw a lot of family, had about 3 different Christmases, kept busy. Kids and family are exhausted. So that is what it is. Do that. All right. What is this? Is this a sticker? And so I did do this over 3 different orders. I just wanted to get it done because things seemed like you were going fast. So we're gonna go with that. All right, Mary Exquisite Rowan has a attack trigger, so it's in my Ishin deck, and drawing cards is always nice there. Oh, fairy. All right, we have Reve Squad, and that is foil. I have this in my Hilda deck, which likes to tap and untap stuff. It's cool. I like it. Mirror Readery. I've played this card in every Merfolk deck I've ever had, which is one now and one then. One a foil version. Let's go for it. Uh, Ryan Sinclair. Cool if you're casting stuff from right. Oh no, it's an attack. Exiles a card. You could play it this turn or next. So again, I don't know if it's in my Ishin deck, but I'm considering it. And it was cheap. I think that was Rivendell. It's a fantastic land, one of the best new lands probably printed this year. Scrying 2, foil, get another. I think I have 2 foil already. It's going in every blue deck that I've ever had. Lotho, Corrupt Sheriff. Again, a lot of those Lord of the Rings cards that you want to be playing, the foils are real cheap because of the holiday bundles right now. So I was real aggressive on that. So I got a couple of Lothos in foil. Whoa. You got Sahili Sublime Artificer, the stained glass version. So just I think this is one where I just wanted to have a foil version of it so that when I'm looking through, I see it a little bit better, right? Seafloor Oracle, right there for the Merfolk deck, foiling. Lore Broker. I have a Takasia deck also that has a mass draw, group hug aspect to it. So I wanted this in there. Karn's Bastion. There seems to be a lot of proliferation help decks out there that are really nice. So I wanted that. Merfolk deck, Benthic Biomancer foil. Skyclave Apparition with the promo foil. In the Hilda deck, it is Spirit tribal-ish, probably losing more and more tribal aspect to it, but figured I'd have it in there. Valor foil in the Takasia deck and just like surveilling a bunch and having in the graveyard. So they were real cheap. I was surprised at how cheap they were. So I want to say under a buck. Could be wrong, but Draka Mystic. Actually, he was going real fast. I think I got lucky on this, but this is going into Cassia, not anything else crazy. Impulsive Pilferer. I like the things dying and getting me treasures, and then Encore. So I got a couple of those. Border Post. Hey, Wizards, if you're listening, finish the cycle, please. I really enjoy these. They're not the best, but they'd be great commons to put into like a Modern Horizons type product. So I picked up 2 of those. Intrepid Hero goes into Cassia to be able to untap and destroy a bunch of cards. Linvala, Shield of Seagate. I really like her. Always have, always will. Sacrificing creatures that are on board kind of stops people, like makes them think a little bit more if they're going to try and Wrath because you're going to leave your stuff around. So they got to have that secondary thing in there. Also can do hexproof if they're trying to target. But being able to recur that kind of stuff too is really nice. Prismatic Omen, these reprints for Wilds of Eldraine, these enchantments, pick them up, eat them up. They're good. Alayla, Cunning Conquer. I like fairies. I like her. She's cool. Explore, we got the Warhammer Surge Foil, which is dope. 2 of those. We have Smoldering Marsh, back to the Doctor Who ones. Surge Foil. I don't think I got into that super hard. I know I use them a little bit. And so gonna pick up some of those as they go. Chaos Warp, this is the best version I got. I'm cheap, but Surge Foil Chaos Warp from Doctor Who, that was the way to go. I'm pretty happy with having that. Diamond Pickaxe. This one's sweet. Indestructible. Whenever you attack, create a treasure token. So it's great in Ishin, but just in general, hard to get rid of. Cheap equip, cheap to come out. I dig it. All in the +1/+1. Irrigated Farmland. That is a cycling. It has the plains are an island type thing. Search Foil, Doctor Who. 2 of those. Canyon Slow. So I think it does look like I probably picked up 2 apiece of these cycle lands. Nope, Smoldering Marsh is a little bit different. All right, so I picked up 2 of the cycling lands. Canopy Vista, picked up 3 of these, which like the 2 or more basic lands in play. Ordeal of Nylea is one of my favorite ramp spells, especially like it's so good in +1/+1 counter decks where you just slap it on there, attack, put a counter on, go and get 2 basic lands, sacrifice it. I love it. It's so good. The Grim Captain's Locker. It surveils. 4 man's a bit hefty, but until end of turn, each card in your graveyard gains escape 4 and then exiling 4 cards. So it's nice. It's nice. Temple Altasar, just people play, I might build a dinosaur deck and it's cheap right now. So pick up a copy. Promise of Alclitz. Sacrifice a non-demon, get a 4/3 white and black vampire demon creature with type 1 flying. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice a non-demon creature if you do populate. Populating is sweet. For 3, you gotta sacrifice. It's a choice, but populating for this is real cheap. Gem Cutter Buccaneer, 4 mana, 1/3 whenever, and that's under $1. Plenty of under dollars of the commander decks from Ixalan. So check those out at this point. Whenever this or another pirate ETBs under your control, create a tapped treasure token. Treasures you control are equipment, and they are equip 1 +2/+0 to the creature. From the rubble, 6 mana, it enters the battlefield. Choose a creature type at the beginning of your end step. Return target creature card of the chosen type from the graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. Real cheap. I don't know. The 6 mana is probably the biggest issue with this one. So it is what it is. Deep Root Historian, 4 mana. Merfolk and Druid cards in your graveyard have retrace, so that's discard a land, recast it. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Recasting stuff is sweet. Bygone Marvels, again, under a buck. 2 mana, descend 8. When you cast a spell, if there were 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, copy the spell twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So I think I'm going to try and fit this into Takasia because it's a self-mill deck. So you get to bring back 3 permanents for 2 green, exile it. Pretty good. Altar of the Wretched. Whenever at ETBs, you can sacrifice a non-token creature. If you do, draw X cards, then mill X cards, where X is the creature's power. Craft, which is the backside. I don't want to read all that. So it must have been real interesting. Or Rich Stalactites. Tap it for a red to add cast instant or sorceries. You can craft it. And then you can choose an exiled card used to craft it, and then you can cast that card without paying its mana cost. Another diamond pickaxe. So I got 3 of them. And then another Rivendell. This one's Surge Foil. 2 more Mines of Moria. So I got 3 of those. So I got 3 decks that like it. Not a bad deal. All right. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. So I like to have too many cards. That is a big problem I have. I like to see them all. It's a little bit like Pokemon for me. Oh, that's a broken one. Womp. There we go. Horn of the Mark, which has attack triggers attached to it. So I think I am potentially. I think I just liked it. I must have just liked it. So search foil on that, real cheap, probably. Elven Choir, Chorus. Come on. Tapping your creatures for mana, also casting stuff off the top. It's a pretty sweet card. Search foil. This was under 5. So Treebeard, I have a Treebeard deck. Wanted a foil version of it. This is it because they did not do a foil version of it beforehand. Same thing with Field Tested Frying Pan. Sadly, since I've purchased this in the last week, I've got the card from the deck. So whoopsie. Mishra's Bauble. They're real cheap. Old bordered foils. I love this card. I have it in a couple decks. Balrog for sure. And I had it in Oscar. So I don't know. I have to remember where that went. Inspiring Statuary, Old Bordered Foil, one of my favorite cards in the game. So I got 4 of those added to decks that are needed. Sticky Fingers, crazy card. 1 mana, gives one of your creatures menace, and then whenever it deals damage, you get a treasure. And whenever it dies, you get to draw a card for 1 mana. This is crazy card. So I wanted a couple. Did I only get 1 more foil? That was silly. Ugh. Sinister Concoction. This is in my enchantment Enixthia deck. Just gonna put it in there. Pretty cheap. Kasmina. Just want a foil version of that. Same thing with Ashiok Dream Render. I really like those planeswalkers. Growth Spasm is a foil for my Asika deck, which is token based. Torbrand, Thane of Feld. I didn't have a foil version. I was kind of surprised. So I just wanted to pick one of those up. Starfield Mystic goes in the Enixthia deck. Wanted a foil version of it. Red Sun's Twilight goes great in Rowan, just that lowered cost. I think I also have wanted a version of it in my Magus Lucia Kane, doubling it up. So pretty sweet. Deep Root Way Deep Root Wayfinder goes in to Cassia Merfolk. Monumental Corruption. Draw X cards, lose X life, where X is the amount of artifacts you have. That's in my Artifact Layla deck. Pretty nice there. Mercurial Spelldancer, real cheap in foil. I think it was 75 cents. Um, Unblockable. You can potentially um, copy spells and stuff like that. So it's great in Calmax and whatever spell slinger deck you got going on. Lathiel, the Bounteous Dawn. Bounteous Bounce. Yeah. 1/1 counters in a life gain deck like Treebeard. So got a pimp version for that. Nykthos Paragon, same thing, foil version for the Treebeard deck. A Tireless Provisioner, I used the card enough, did not have a foil version, so got 2 of those. Should be happy with that. Sanctum Weaver, I got 2 of those as well. It goes in every enchantment deck, so I wanted at least 2. I got a Nykthia and maybe something else. I don't know. Priest of the Fell Rites is a sweet reanimation card. I had it in a deck. I don't know how many I have it in right now, but it'll work. I'll eventually use it. Deep Forest Hermit. This is in my Asika Tokens deck. Wanted a foil version of it. Heliod, the Radiant Dawn, Takasia, the Surveil deck. Beamtown Beat Stick. Great in Balrog deck. So I picked up 2. I'll probably use that. Find another deck to use it in. Spirited Companion. Foil for Enixthia. And it's such a good boy. Such a good boy. I think it's pretty cheap too. All right, we're getting there. I'm gonna take a drink. Remember, share, like, subscribe. We're cruising. We're almost half done. Ulrund, God of the Cosmos. Actually, I more used Haka, Whispering Raven. Um, hashtag Team Forest Walk deck. It's a legend. It comes back to my hand. I can heals combat damage to player, return it to its owner's hand, then scry 2. So scry 2, recast it really cheap. Um, Pay a green, get a 2/2, kind of repeatable. It's really nice in that regard. Deep Root Waters, Merfolk. People are buying up Merfolk anyway, so might as well get that. Geist of the Archives foil version for the Hilda Spirited deck. Expedition map and foil. That is Jeddah Dojanen mercenary deck. Hashtag Team Forest Walk. So that goes in there. Hunting Grounds foil. It's a cool card. I got 1 of them. I don't normally use it, but it's dope. It's a cool card. Wanted that. Bloodchief Ascension. Alt art foil. I can dig it. I can dig it. Can you dig it? Arachnogenesis instant, creating a bunch of counters, going in Calamax for tonight. Rankle Master Pranks. Just wanted some foil version of it. How many did I get? 1, 2. Yeah. He's a cool card. I have him in Rowan and a couple of other considerations. Jahira's Respite. That is a foil full art version for Calamax. Pack Attack. Also for Calamax, instant speed draw with combat trick. There's some more border posts foil version. Come on. Grazilax, one of my favorite cards too. I got a lot of favorite cards on I, but full art foils, I use them. Alayla and probably Jeddah. So, oh, maybe not Alayla. I have them at least 2 decks though. And then 2 Keswick Wolf runs for the FTV foils. They're real cheap. People don't like the FTV foils, but they look different. They look cool. They kind of get scuffed really easy. So, there we go. Half done. There. Let's see here. Got a couple of short ones. I have a feeling I'm done here in the next 10 minutes. So let's see here. See. Let's see. All right. Yeah, new card, Witch King, Sky Scourge. Foil version. Don't have a place for it. Just thought it was probably just cheap. Wind Swift Slice. This is one. Whenever target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature. So it's basically a removal in Calamax, and it's going to get me some tokens. That was the point. Sorcerer's Squall. I did not have a plan for this, but it's cool. Full art foil, real cheap at that point. Fauna Shaman was reprinted last year in Brothers War. It's cheap. It was like $2 to $3 full art foil. I don't use it a lot. I've had it in a deck or two, but it's good to have a pimp version of it. Bygone Bishop. That is Hilda Spirited. Famished Paladin. I just like the card. It goes well if you can tap it for mana and gain life off of it too. Kind of infinite stuff. Light Minefield. Great whenever you don't want to really attack. So perfect. Oak Street. Innkeeper. Great in Decasia with tapping and untapping and protection that way. So wanted a couple of those. Winged Shards. Friday Night Foil. Has Storm, and target player sacrifices an attacking creature for as many spells that have been done. White Sun's Twilight foil promo version was pretty cheap. I felt like a Wrath that created tokens was going to be pretty good with poison, like a lot quicker to kill people in that way. Monastery Mentor, that was a fucking $20+ card before this reprint. I decided that a foil promo version for under, I think I got one. I probably thought of more. But it's sweet. Scrib Rager, untapping, real cheap. Thought it was a cool card. So that is the list. Timeless Witness. That is Asika, just tokens, getting stuff back. Just wanted a foil of it. Also really like the artifact lands from Modern Horizons 2. I didn't get them all in foil, so I wanted to make sure I was getting that. So that was one of them. Visionary Augmenter. I really like the fabricate mechanic, and I think they've been really pushing the like artifact creatures getting a buff type thing. So fabricate is probably a thing you should be looking into right now. Blinding Flare. Always like the card. Haven't used it. Maybe the shiny makes me use it a little bit more. Rallying Roar, untapping your creatures, 1+1/+1. I like untap effects at instant speed or repetitive. So, Chaplain of Alms, that is a double feature foil. Oh, that looks good over there. But basically, I really like this because it has ward 1, first strike for 1 as a 1/1. Dies, bring it back. First strike, flying. Each creature you control has ward 1, and if it dies, it exiles. So that's a cheap investment. I have nothing wrong with that. Footfall Crater, foil, just has the cycling, or target creature has haste and trample. Yosei the Morning Star. I loved these. Hey, thanks. Thanks, Mesa. It's yeah. Yosei the Morning Star. I've always liked these dragon spirits. I should, I can get stuff in foil. They're sweet if you're gonna play with them. And obviously, Kakusho is gonna be real expensive, so I'm cheap. Cheap. Frontier Siege is another card that I've thought of using a lot, so maybe the foil makes me actually use it a little bit more. I like just the idea of getting 2 green at the beginning of the upkeep or first and second main phases. So, good in that regard. Another one that I really like was going through my cards, break through the line, giving something unblockability in red is really nice, even though that power has less. But that's one that I want to try using. Commune with the Gods, foil in a Sika, Renegade Crassus, just a foil evolve, everything gets +1/+1 counters. Veteran Explorer, another one that I really like, but um, didn't have it in foil. Thopter Engineer, random, wanted it in foil. Chandra's Pyreling also going in my Indoraptor, damaging everybody. This gets +1/+1 and double strike. So really it's a 4/3 double striker. And if I deal more damage, sure. Bigger and bigger and bigger. Elvish Mystic foil. I really like that alt art. Um, so going with that. Regal Behemoth. It's a dinosaur. It's doubling stuff. It's real cheap right now. That Commander Masters really tanked its price. So decided to get a couple, it looks like. Palace Jailer, also foil. It's a nice one, a little bit of removal, introducing Monarch, something that I'd like to use a little bit more. Herald of the Host, just a nice cheap card in there. Halana, Kessig Ranger, got that. Esh foiling, should be good. The Crowd Goes Wild, foil, basically giving 1/1 counters, trample until end of turn and adding a little bit more counters. And then First Response, at the beginning of each upkeep, if you lost life this turn, put a 1/1 soldier into play. So each upkeep, by the time it comes around, you might have a little bit of an army there. All right. Do do do. Da da da. Da da do. This one's a little one. So I mean, I'd go check out the Surge foils over there. They have some cool looking cards. Oop. I normally give my kids the tokens if they're not too scary. All right, Surge foil, Tyrant Guard. Like I said earlier about Linvala, I like protection pieces on the board. Because if they're gonna remove it, you just sacrifice it. Doesn't get exiled or whatever, and all your stuff is protected for the turn. They just gotta think that extra step, and I can be a lot more aggressive in that way. So Surge foil, Tyrant Guard, that goes in Calamax, that goes in Magus Lucia Kane, that goes in a bunch of decks. So Shalai and Halar, I have a couple of those, I'm sure. Boop. All right. Noxious Field. This is going in Indoraptor. Old foils are gorgeous, but deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. It's an enchant land. Pretty cool. I did not have one, so it's good to have one in foil. It was more expensive than I like for an uncommon. I think it was like close to 5, but it is what it is. Arabian Nights Desert. So tap to deal 1 damage at the end of combat to a creature, which is just going to set off Enrage, and then it also gives me colorless if I so wish. Teferi's Time Twist. This is protection and or resetting piece in Xavier Sol. Kiora Behemoth Beckoner. Oh, I only got 1? Son of a... Nah, I think I was going for 2. I have this in Magus Lucia Kane and Xavier Sol, which is Planeswalker deck. Hopefully I got another one. Tamio, Completed Sage. This creates tokens in Xavier Sol to populate just kind of randomly. It's pretty cool in that regard. Our Archangel Elspeth, 4 mana, full art, alt art, foil. It's gorgeous. Just I don't have it. It just looked cool. 2 Simic Growth Chambers, foils. That's what I wanted. Relic of Legends, foils. Oh, see. All right. Second Kiora Reckoner must be a little damaged. Tyrant Guard, I already talked about that. Relic of Legends is a great card. I have it in my Convoke deck, and I have it in Jeddah Dojan in Legend deck, and Legendary Creature. So it's pretty awesome in that regard. All right. I want to say that Relic of Legends was under 3. And that was worth it to me. Something that I'll use quite a bit. That's everybody that came out. Thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully, you're enjoying some of this fun stuff. Down to the last container. Ooh, that just came off. Whoops. And now for the rest of the night, I'm going to be sorting and putting stuff into decks, which is, I'm sure, everybody's best dreams. All right, let's see here. Zoop. All right, let's see here. Last bit. Nice old foil and Civi's Roost, which is kind of a free fog effect. Um, I always like old foils, so if I can find them cheap and something that I like to consider, I try and buy it. Especially with Card Kingdom credit, it's kind of like just diversifying what I got going on. Hunted Troll, again, one of my old school favorite cards. Giving somebody a bunch of blue fairies and then killing them is nice for an 8/4. Hunted Dragon, another. They didn't show up in Ravnica Remastered, so I felt like getting some foils. I know I have the white foil, but I don't think I have the blue and the black one. But not a bad deal. Vivify, turn the land into a creature. It's still a land, draw a card. Foil. Old foils, like I was talking about. Silklash Spider. This is probably my first mistake. um, this I think it was in Magus Lucia Kane, but I already had a foil of it. So that was not right. Another Chaos Warp Surge foil. Dope. Stern Judge. Just something I wanted a foil of. Old school foil. This was $1, but each player loses 1 life for each swamp he or she controls. You pair this up with Urborg, and everybody's taking life for as many land as they have, basically. Latula's Orders, again, old foil, instant speed aura. And if it deals damage to a player, you get to destroy an artifact. It's really cool. I picked up 2 of those, it looks like. Ogre Battle Driver. I wanted a foil version of this because they seem to be seeding in over the last year or two, like whenever a creature comes into play, and if it does this damage, you get to draw a card with like Samet from Aftermath, or there's like a double striker from the Warhammer, or it seems like every other set they're kind of sprinkling that idea in. So I don't know if they're gearing up for something, or eventually there's going to be when a creature ETBs this effect happens. So might as well pick up pimp versions as you can. Maybe I'll get to do that. Astro Slide, FNM promo. I think it was under 2. I want to say $1.75 or something, but it's a cool card for cycling. Maybe we'll go back there one day. Sunbird's Invocation, just card draw. I like it. I don't play it enough because that 6 mana cost, but getting a cool version for cheap is nice. Lash Knife Barrier is just one of those cards that I've always liked, wanting the foil to grab me a little bit more, but ETBs draws a card, and you can reduce damage dealt to you by 1 from any source as the sources hit you. So like a bunch of 1/1s attacking you, nothing happens. Inquisitor's Exarch, another one of those cards that I really like. ETBs, you either gain life or an opponent loses 2 life. You have a blink effect like Brago, and you can start gnawing away at your opponents. Timeless Witness, I had a foil version of it in the past. Get a foil token. Why not? Tectonic Reformation, another card that I really, really love. I don't play it enough, so maybe this foil version is gonna pull my eye a little bit for it more. Um, Moonlit Wake, another one that I like. Whenever a creature is put in the graveyard from play, gain a life. That's anybody's graveyard. Real cheap enchantment, 3 mana, not bad. Remember where I thought that I had more Monastery Mentors? I at least have one more. Full art foil. Gorgeous. Get them now as they're cheap. So, all right. Protective Spear, another 3 mana artifact or enchantment. Pay 1 and 1 life. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn by a source of your choice that shares a color with the mana spent on the activation cost. This card is great in a 5-color deck. It just is. Doesn't have to be an enchantment. It is a circle of everything as long as you have the mana. Chromatic Lantern is great with it too. Blessed Alliance, just wanted a foil version of it. Probably shouldn't have done that. Moonfell Dragon. This is a card that I have, but it's in like probably Japanese. I don't like cards that I can't read, or I want at least an English version of it, so I don't have to, like, look it up or anything. Unravel the Aether. This is a shuffle artifact or enchantment in your deck. Instant. I like the card, don't really use it, but maybe the foil version gets me there. Tallow-Wisp, great card. I'm surprised at how cheap this was, but basically, Spirit or arcane spells get you to go search for an aura and put it in your hand. Spirit totally works. I love that card. From Beyond, just want a foil version of that. Same thing with Vizier of Deferment. Slow down. All right, this gets me a 1/1 Scion that I can sacrifice for manas. Vizier is a blinking type thing at flash speed for attacking. Attack to block this turn. Restoration Specialist, want a foil version of it. You sacrifice it and get to bring back an artifact and or enchantment from the graveyard to your hand. I like putting stuff into the graveyard, so I like bringing it back to my hand too. Boon Weaver Giant. This is an aura type kind of thing, so I want a foil version of it. Quest for the Holy Relic. Did I just get one? Yeah. So this goes and gets an equipment, brings it into play. If you know, bring in a bunch of non-token creatures. So just want a foil version of that one. Same thing with Fairy Slumber Party. Turn everything into 1/1s. It's pretty sweet. Grateful Apparition. Wanted a foil version of this. I like proliferating as much as populating. So wanted a foil version of that. Old school foils. Like I said, get to Warcry. Enchantment. You can pay a red and fire breathing for all of your creatures. Basically, just got that red though. Back to the Doctor Who cards. Surge Foil Sunken Hollow. That is needing 2 basics to come into play untapped. Got 1, 2. Solemn Simulacrum, Surge Foil, all full arts. 2 of them. Gorgeous. Sheltered Thicket. That's the cycling one for red green. 2 of those. Scattered Groves, which is green white for the cycling. Did I get that? Shit, I might have. Whoops. Overgrown Farmland Surge Foil. I tried to get more, but they, like I said, they were running out. So I got one of them. All right. Glacial Fortress Surge Foil. Fetid Pools, which is the black blue cycling one. Uh, I love Doomsday Confluence. Surge Foil full art. Um, so yeah, that is in Rowan. That's a game winner for me right there. Confession Tile, also Surge Foil. Cinder Glade is the 2 basics. I only got one of those. Oh, going out. So I got a full art and a non-full art. Got 2 of those. Shipwreck March, which is the black blue ones from Innistrad. Same thing with the green white. I put that away. Farmland Overglade or something. So those were going fast. Snake Umbra. I like this card a lot. Basic, it can be non-combat damage, draw on a card and stuff like that. Llanowar Mentor. This is a card that I've liked for a long time. Wanted a foil version of it. Same thing with Iron Craig. Pyromancer. I kind of want to do a cycling deck. I don't know. But yeah, I've always liked that one, like a foil version of it. Reverent Hoplite, also like this as a foil version. Heliod's Pilgrim, going in whenever it ETBs, search your library for an aura card, reveal it in the hand. A Crowan Crusader, foil version of it, just wanted that. And then Flowering of the White Tree Surge foil, full arts. Jeddah Rojanen, and I believe this is a Layla. That's where they're going. Hey, that is it. Thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed what you were watching. Some cool stuff going on. Maybe you went and bought some cards. Maybe that's where you went. All right. Well, thanks again. Check out the podcast. We'll be back next Monday, Tuesday, because of New Year's. All right. Bye.